Hello, my sunflowers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we taking a trip to the Emerald City to talk about one of the most dazzling characters in modern musical theater. She's bubbly, she's confident, she's charismatic, and she's absolutely obsessed with being popular. Of course, I'm talking about Glinda from Wicked. The moment she floats onto the stage in her bubble, Glinda captures our attention. But here's the thing, she is so much more than her glittering surface. Beneath the humor, the charm, and those perfectly rehearsed smiles, Glinda has one of the most interesting and complex character arcs in the entire story. So today, we're going to dive deep into Glinda's mindset, how she treats the people around her, the actions that define her, and why, despite all her flaws, she remains one of the most beloved characters ever created. Let's start with Glinda's mindset. At her core, Glinda is built on a foundation of optimism and an unshakable belief in the power of charm. She genuinely believes that if you are kind, confident, and radiant enough, people will naturally be drawn to you. For her, life is all about connection, and she thrives on being the center of it all. But here's what makes her so fascinating. Glinda's mindset isn't just shallow or superficial. Yes, she adores glamour, she loves her status, and she has a flair for the dramatic that is second to none. But she also carries an energy that genuinely makes people feel lighter just by being in her presence. Glinda's confidence is infectious. Her ability to look at life with a sense of humor and joy is something we can all learn from, because it's a powerful reminder that positivity can change a room. Of course, her mindset isn't perfect, especially at the beginning. Initially, she sees the world through her own reflection. How do things affect her? How does she look to others? How can she maintain her admired status? But as her story unfolds, her perspective begins to shift. She learns that being good isn't about being adored or being flawless. It's about showing up for others, being compassionate, and making choices that truly matter. That growth is what makes her so relatable. I mean, who among us hasn't started out a little self-centered, only to learn through life's experiences that empathy is what really counts in the end? Now let's talk about how Glinda treats people. From the very beginning, she approaches others with a potent mix of charm and humor. She loves to entertain, to make people laugh, and to draw them into her sparkling world. That is a huge part of why she's so magnetic. She has this incredible gift of making others feel seen, even if at first it's in a playful or slightly teasing way. But it's not all sparkle and shine. Glinda definitely stumbles. When she first meets Elphaba, she judges her harshly, even mocking her, because Elphaba doesn't fit into her very specific idea of what's popular. This shows us that Glinda's kindness, while genuine in its own way, isn't yet mature. It is still tied to her own image and to who she believes is worthy of her attention. Yet, what makes her so lovable is that she grows beyond this. Over time, her treatment of others becomes much more sincere. She learns to see Elphaba's strength, her wisdom, and her fierce individuality. In doing so, she proves that she's capable of deep compassion and true, loyal friendship. This evolution in how Glinda treats people is one of the most powerful parts of her character arc. She doesn't just stay a bubbly caricature. Instead, she grows into someone who uses her charisma not just to entertain, but to genuinely uplift. And that, as a lesson for all of us, our charm and influence mean very little if we don't use them to genuinely care for the people in our lives. This brings us to Glinda's actions, which really reveal her dual nature, the playful and the profound. On the one hand, she is the absolute queen of grand gestures, whether it's teaching Elphaba the art of the toss to be popular, or dazzling crowds with her mere presence. She thrives in the spotlight and knows exactly how to work a room. These actions might seem superficial, but they actually highlight her deep understanding of human connection. She knows that sometimes appearances and confidence are what open doors. But on the other hand, it's Glinda's deeper actions that truly show her heart. As the story progresses, she's forced to make incredibly difficult choices. And while she doesn't always choose perfectly, the important thing is that she tries. She steps into leadership roles she never asked for. She stands by her friends, even when it's dangerous. And she learns the painful lesson of putting others before herself. What was most moving about her journey is that it shows us our actions don't have to be perfect to matter. They just have to be real. Glinda proves that even someone who starts out obsessed with popularity can grow into a person guided by true compassion and courage. So after all of this, why do we love Glinda so much? The answer, I think, lies in her beautiful balance of humor, light, and heart. She makes us laugh out loud with her bubbly one-liners. She dazzles us with her undeniable charisma, but she also touches us deeply when she shows her vulnerability and her capacity for growth. We love her because she isn't perfect. She's flawed, a little vain, and sometimes clumsy in her choices, but that's what makes her real. She reminds us of ourselves, striving to be light, learning how to be truly kind, and hoping to grow into a better version of who we were yesterday. Glinda teaches us that loveability doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from warmth, from growth, and from authenticity. At the end of the day, we don't love her because she's popular. We love her because she's human. So the next time you think of Glinda, remember, she's so much more than the glitter, the charm, and the catchy songs. She is a symbol of growth, of relentless optimism, and of the idea that even those of us who start out a little self-focused can grow to lead with true compassion. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Being lovable isn't about being flawless. It's about learning, growing, and leading with your heart. Thank you so much for watching. What's your favorite Glinda moment? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the characters we love. I'll see you in the next one.